All right, so I posted a joke a second ago on Twitter, and people really didn't like it. But hey, that's okay. That's totally fine. But since the joke is sufficiently ruined, I will explain sort of my thought process here, and you can either accept it or not or disagree. I don't really care, but this is sort of a little bit about the behind the scenes, so to speak. So Dr. Russell Moore posted this very jubilant tweet. Jubilant is my impression of it, of course. There was no jubilation expressed. In fact, I don't think there is there's no exclamation points either. So when I hear him in my own mind tweeting this, he's very giddy. So maybe he's not, but that's how I hear it. Anyway, and it says this. It says, it's a Washington Post article, Johnny Cash, the man in black himself. I love Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash is great. Anyway, Johnny Cash, a Johnny Cash statue is going to replace the Confederate statue on Capitol Hill in Arkansas. And he's very excited about this because he's woke. He's woke, and so this is a good move for wokeness. So now here is my thought process. This is why I made the joke that I made. Now, here's the joke that I made. Here's what it said. Here's what I said. I said, let's see here. Okay. My joke says, another white male. How can Dr. Moore be such a white supremacist? The problem is, though, that unfortunately Twitter didn't show the retweeted tweet. So some people probably were very confused by this. I'm not sure why that happened. But anyway, how can Dr. Moore be such a white supremacist? He's celebrating a Johnny Cash statue replacing a Confederate statue. Those are two white males. And so my thought, I don't actually think that Dr. Moore is a white supremacist. That's fake. I was lying about that. That's part of the joke. And so here's my thought process. There's a Bible verse that says, answer a fool according to his folly. Answer a fool according to his folly. Now, critical theory and this wokeness and all this idea, this is all very, very foolish. And so here's my thought process was. Dr. Moore is a lukewarm woke person. He's not like totally all the way woke, because if you go all the way woke, you can get really crazy with these conspiracy theories. And so what I did was I went all the way woke, because here's at the end of the day, you could probably find someone on Twitter right now, you could find someone that's saying exactly what I said about how they're replacing a symbol of white supremacy with another symbol of white supremacy by putting Johnny Cash up there. And so here's my thought process. So now that the joke's already ruined, let me just explain it to you. A lukewarm woke person, I'm telling him that actually you're not woke. You got to go all the way woke. And really what's happened here is all that's happened is you've replaced white supremacy symbols with another. What you needed to do was get a black, female, lesbian, transgendered statue up there. That's what you really needed to do in order to break down the strongholds and change the system. That's what you really needed to do. Until you do that, you're just another flavor of white supremacist. That's the joke. Now, you might not think it's funny, and I'm okay with that. In fact, I had to hear this pushback from Tom Buck. This is a good pushback. He said, FYI, Johnny Cash and his family were very outspoken against white supremacy. I didn't know that, but I have no reason to believe that's not true. I mean, there's a lot of white people that are against white supremacy. But that's also part of the conspiracy. You could probably find very easily some people that say, hey, if you're vocal against white supremacy, that's actually a sign that you're the worst white supremacist of all. And actually, I did find that. I found an article with a few different, this is a funny article, you should read it up. Which fake ally are you? And it basically has people who say or think that they're allies, but they're really not. They're really white supremacists. This is a funny article, you should read it. But anyway, so yeah, you might not think that's a funny joke, you might not think it's very helpful, but what I was attempting to do was answer foolishness with more foolishness to hopefully expose how foolish the foolishness is. So I think Dr. Moore's jubilation of Confederate statues being torn down is stupid, and to show that it's stupid, I'm going to go all the way woke and show you what you really needed to do. What you can't replace a Confederate with Johnny Cash. You got to replace him with the black, lesbian, transgendered, whatever it is. And actually, even that wouldn't be enough. Probably you have to keep getting woker and woker and woker. Anyway, that's the joke. That's my explanation. Hope all is well, and I hope that was helpful. God bless.